Road bet big as well. But what I found interesting about watching this race was this was a very good example of what you love to talk about, of getting your position going forward with Fit to Fight, because Jerry knows he's inside, but A Phenomenon has that great outside post, and he's got the speed. Jerry's got to do something early.
Well, he made sure that this is his main rival. He got right up on his heels, go forward to get his position. Now, you got to remember, Fit to Fight's a horse that's capable of running 1.5 miles. So for him to have this kind of speed going a mile, and they went 44-4 to the half, and you look at the way Angel's perched up on A Phenomenon, Angel Cordero that is on the lead, he's just trying to rate him along. If you can say going 44-4 is rating.
Well, maybe it is down that long straightaway, especially with that huge straightaway at Belmont Park. But it's a case where Jerry understands that if he doesn't use some of Fit to Fight's talent to show some speed early, and A Phenomenon's allowed to go 23-46, he's never going to catch him. So he's got to make a move early and risk maybe using his horse a little too much.
But he turned it into a test of stamina, which was his strong suit, not A Phenomenon's strong suit. And, of course, there was Tarantara getting the perfect trip in behind horses, just not enough horse to keep up.
Well, the jockey might have gotten his way as we head down to Marshall Cassidy to get the call of this fabulous horse race.
On the inside, those two continue to fight it out past the 8th pole. They've opened up 5 on Cozzene. Fit to Fight on the outside. A Phenomenon on the inside. Those two will race to the wire. Fit to Fight on the outside has a narrow lead as they race to the wire.
Horse racing is about two really great talents battling it out down the entire stretch in a big horse race.
Well, absolutely, and you can see the stamina we talk about. Look at the way Fit to Fight galloped out under Jerry Bailey, just way ahead of everybody else. Great watching that stretch duel. 2 Hall of Fame riders on 2 tremendous racehorses. And you watch Angel, he knows A Phenomenon is giving him everything he has. So he's getting after him with the whip, but he'll hit him once, he'll go back to hand riding him. Jerry's all over Fit to Fight. And, you know, this was one of Jerry Bailey's early big successes. You knew he was going to be have a Hall of Fame career, but this was one of his first big ones.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if Jerry rode this horse or Jeffrey Fell rode him, because it was really early in Jerry winning big races like this, and obviously we'll talk about him more in some Met miles as we go forward, but what a stretch.
Mile on the turf, and here are the horses to watch.
The last time we visited with international sportsman Robert Sangster, he was telling us about the colt he had paid $8 million for, didn't want to pay it because he had a bad foot. Well, Robert doesn't mind paying every cent of the bills on Royal Heroin. A grand filly set the pace in the Arlington Million. Only John Henry beat her, and as we all know, there's no John here today.
Wrong again, Pete. There is John Nearard, and Jan Nearard, his son, trains Cozzene. This is about as good a grass miler as you're going to find in America today. Here he is at Belmont Park. Track record equaling performance, 1 mile in 1:33. If he acclimates to the California grass, he is going to be tough.
And to acclimate, he'll have to contend with the locals, like the 3-year-olds, Tights and Tsunami Sloop. Last winter, they were California's classic hopes. By midsummer, they only had hopes, but they run together a lot. Tights is winning this one. They might run together again today, but I have a feeling it won't be 1-2.
It might be 3-4.
3 for 3, Cozzene and Lear Fan, they say. And let's look at the current odds. The entry of Prego and Royal Heroin, the favorite on the board at 8-5. Tsunami Slough 7-1. Then the long shots, Smart and Sharp, Star Choice. We've got Night Mover 6-1, 7-2 on Lear on Cozzene. Lear Fan at 5-1, 6-1 for Tights, and Tons of Run at 40-1. Sharon?
Well, Dick, you know, it's always a relief for the trainer of a filly to see her come out for a race calm. Now, it is November, so it's unlikely that a filly would be in season, but sometimes they are. That means they're more interested in the colts than in their race. But Royal Heroine came through the paddock extremely calmly. If she's ready physically, she certainly will have her mind on her race today, so she's looking pretty good in this race. And I also like the great Cozzene. He looked extremely good in the post-parade. So let's go back to Dick.
All right, Dave Johnson has already indicated he likes Royal Heroine. It's Cozzene and Lear Fan for Harvey and X. Now let's go upstairs to Tom Durkin.
All right, Dick, thank you very much. And waiting for Lear Fan to move into the starting gate, the European. And Lear Fan, of course, that's a very confining and claustrophobic space in the starting gate for a horse. And quite honestly, some of them have a fear of that space. And so the assistant starters will do their best to calm down the horse, and the jockey will do his best. And we're having a real problem with Lear Fan. Now you can hear some of the assistant starters, I believe, talking back. Now, Robin is out at the starting gate. Robin, what's going on?
Yes, Lear Fan's acting up a little bit out here, but we'll have to remember it's the first time he's raced in this country, so it's not familiar. Now he's in. Sometimes you just have to give him a little bit of time. They calm down.
And what the assistant starter did there, one of the tricks of the trade, he put a blindfold on Lear Fan. Couldn't see the gate, wasn't afraid of it. We're waiting for Prego and Royal Heroine. And there you see Prego. Of course, the silks will be exactly the same as Royal Heroine. They're both owned by Robert E. Sangster, who has spent millions and millions of dollars on thoroughbreds every year. He's trying to get a little bit back of it right now. They're in the gate. And they're off. Smart and Sharp is hustled out to get to the lead. Put to the whip, and Smart and Sharp dashes clear from the field by 2 lengths. And there goes Tsunami Slew now. He's up to dispute the early pace from second, and Cozzene came away third on the outside. Star Choice toward the inside is fourth. Royal Heroine is now fifth on the outside. Tights is racing in sixth. Lear Fan on the outside now begins to move up from seventh. And it's Night Mover saving ground all the way, but he's back in 8th position, followed by Tons a Run, now 9th by 3, and Prego is the trailer as the field begins their run up the backstretch. Smart and Sharp breezing along with the 2.5 length lead. Tsunami Slew is giving chase. Cozzene is poised for the final furlongs on the outside third as Star Choice moves through on the inside from fourth. There goes Lear Fan. He's gaining ground quickly on the outside from fifth. Quick fractions, 22 and 3 for the quarter, 45 and 3 for the half mile, and the field rounds the far turn. Here comes Tsunami Slew, and he bursts through between horses now. Tsunami Slew is up to take a short lead. Cozzene is right at his neck, second on the outside. Smart and Sharp right there toward the inside is racing in third position. Star Choice behind the wall of horses is now racing in fourth. The filly Royal Heroine is making her run now on the outside, and Lear Fan has dropped back. They're coming to the final 16th of a mile. Royal Heroine sweeping to the lead from the outside. Cozzene is now second. Tights is making a late run, and they're coming to the finish. Royal Heroine, a host of others closing in, but here's the wire, and Royal Heroine has won it. Royal Heroine under expert handling by the bull, Fernando Toro, another win on the Hollywood Park turf course.
Fernando Toro aboard Royal Heroine. The 4-year-old filly bred in Ireland, beating a field of 9 of the boys.
And beating them convincingly. We've had a course record yesterday. Sabine set the course record 1:33 and 2. And watch this one in the time of 1:32 and 3. A good trip for Royal Heroine, and beautifully handled. Cozzene, the gray horse there. Oh, what a nice race. And here comes the Star Choice between horses, the 4 horse who's going to eventually get the place. But it's Royal Heroine who had to contend with John Henry in the Arlington Million. Didn't have John this afternoon. Had the boys, but beat him convincingly by about 2 1/4 lengths.
And they'll have to study the pictures for second and certainly show, but no question Royal Heroine nose on the line first. Robert Sangster's 4-year-old filly, Irish bred, as we said. John Henry had battled her to win the Arlington Million here on NBC earlier. And for Royal Heroine, who had won over $600,000 in her career, she's just picked up $500,000 more. The winner of this Mile Classic on the turf. 1964 Preakness, her great-grandsire, Northern Dancer. And the lines lead to a winner today, Royal Heroine. They've studied the photo, and indeed, Royal Heroine. And they are now announcing it's unofficial at the moment. The 4-horse Star Choice was second. Cozzene, the 6-horse, third, and Tights finished fourth.
A beautiful start, except for Prego, who got away quite badly. But we're watching it again as Smart and Sharp with Steve Neff set the early fractions. Michael, what did you think about this victory by Royal Heroine?
Well, I've always thought she was a very good mare, and certainly she proved it there with that terrific run. She looked as if she was in a bit of trouble turning into the straight, where Learfan was going as well as anything. But from there on in, it was Royal Heroine. But here they are now about to swing into a bend down here, and you can see that the principle of the race, Royal Heroine, is just moving up there to the right of the picture with Learfan out on the outside. And here she is now in the center of the picture, just lying about 6. That's Royal Heroine, and Learfan ahead of her out on the outside. Things were going well for Learfan then, Bruff.
They were going well for Learfan, no excuse, but he didn't act. He missed the break. He was always on the outside. He lost his rhythm, really. But let's hand it to the old man, Fernando Toro. The great thing about race riding, people, is really that it's the wisdom that is more important than the muscles. Fernando Toro is no chicken nowadays, but goodness, he's ridden a wise, wise old race here, and sat really snug and quiet, and this filly through absolutely beautifully.
And she gave him absolutely full cooperation. Look at her move there. When Fernando asks her to go, she goes, and she truly is what her name suggests, a Royal Heroine. And away she goes, another winner in the Sangster colours. An impressive winner, an American record winner.
In an American record time, 1:32.3, Royal Heroine. Let's go to Sharon.
Well, Dick, Jim McKnight rode Star Choice to it.
Sends a pair postward in this one, sponsored by Michelob. Capture Him and the Noble Player, 2 for the price of 1. And here is Robert Sangster's Capture Him, a Kentucky bred who raced in Ireland last year. And this year, 3 starts and 2 wins. Good morning workouts. And he is a possible long shot because of Gosden and his fine training. The Noble Player is the second part of this combo, and you get Bill Shoemaker. This horse was 5th in the million and 2nd last out. Tsunami Slew is the 2 horse, and next in our post parade, who broke the course record at Del Mar this summer. 4 smashing turf victories this year. Only 1 bad race. That was the Arlington, where the going was soggy. Tsunami Slew. Now let's move on to number 3, Dr. Schwartzman, with Craig Perrette riding. And Dr. Schwartzman had a big victory last out, but a mediocre summer campaign. Never So Bold also in the post parade there behind our panel of odds. Steve Cawthon rides the 4 horse. Never So Bold, a top English sprinter who won 3 grade 1s this summer. Cozzene is the 5 horse, sitting on a win, throw out his last, which was on a sloppy track. He loves the turf, and they're getting ready to cash tickets on this one. He'll be tough. Walter Guerra rides Cozzene. Forzando won the Metropolitan Mile on the dirt by 5 lengths. The question is if he can transfer that speed to the turf. Palace Music would be best at 1.25 miles. He's a top-class runner. Today is only his 4th trip postward this year. They've saved him for the Fall Classics here and in England. Late Act, a big race, 2nd in the Ballantine Scotch Classic at the Meadowlands last out, behind Sean Rampour, who's in the 1.5 mile turf race later on. And Late Act will be flying at the finish. Shadid is the best 3-year-old miler in Europe. 3 wins in 4 starts this year. He's back after a layoff. Roussillon, who's the best older miler in Europe. He's won his last 3. Al Mamoun, a bad post position, but the whispers are that Bobby Frankel, the trainer, may send this horse. Angel Cordero Jr. rides, and they're afraid he might get caught wide at the first turn if he doesn't go quickly to the lead. And the field, Chapel Cottage and Sitzmark, both would be complete surprises if they garnered the trophy here this afternoon. That's the field, 14 of them for the 1 mile on the turf.
And for their expertise, let's pick the brains of Harvey and Pete. Considerably cooler as they get ready to approach the turf. A mile distance, highly competitive race, U.S. against Europe. Here's Pete and Bruff.
The Breeders' Cup Mile. Around the tight turns of the Aqueduct Turf Course, 2 things you love to have are speed and the rail. Tsunami Slew has both and could be a big factor.
You're right for a change, Pete. Big edge for American horses. They like to run early. They can fool the Europeans. Tsunami Slew, big chance.
Cozzene, a Nehrude horse. John Nehrude, a Breeders' Cup man. He and his son Jan have passed up a lot of pots in this poker game to wait for the big one in the Breeders' Cup.
Thought he'd win it last year. I didn't think he got a perfect ride. The Nehrudes want this race. This horse is ready.
So is Shadid, the best 3-year-old miler in Europe. He's just broken the track record at Ascot, beating Teddy Prompter, and he did yours at Arlington.
How's he going to win, Bruff? Can't you see he's running the wrong way?
You just watch him, Harv.
And we've also got Roussillon. He's the best older miler in Europe. And like some telecasters, handsome is as handsome does. Sticks his head in the air and puts his ears back.
He's drawn an outside post. He could end up at nearby Kennedy Airport.
Rough brings up Harvey's frequent problem. Handsome is as handsome does.
They're all in line.
Hey, you.
And they're up. And Roussillon was away slowly, spotting the field 3 lengths at the start. Cordero sends Al Mamoun to the front and moves over to the inside to take the lead by 2 lengths. On the outside, Shadid is up there to dispute the early pace. Then it's the gray horse Cozzene, now racing in 3rd position. Tsunami Slew is saving ground in 4th. Then it's Forzando between horses in 5th. Chapel Cottage is checked. Sitzmark is next in line. Noble Player is ranging up on the outside from 8th. Then taken to the outside, Capture Him. Then a gap of 3 back to Dr. Schwartzman and Palace Music. And now Grevel Starkey sends Roussillon in between horses now. Never So Bold is second to last. The trailer is Late Act. He's a dozen lengths off the lead of Al Mamoun. And Shadid is pressuring him all the way. Cozzene is stalking the lead on the outside, and Walter Guerra now sends him after the lead. Forzando takes to the leaders on the outside, now racing in 4th. Roussillon has moved into contention. Now he's right there, 5th. And Chapel Cottage is 6th toward the inside. The field rounds the final turn. Al Mamoun, he's still the one to catch, and he accelerates at the top of the stretch to a 2.5 length lead. Cozzene takes aim at the leader on the outside, now racing in 2nd. Shadid is back in 3rd. Dr. Schwartzman a late run. Here comes the gray horse, Cozzene, and he powers up now to take the lead. Al Mamoun is back in 2nd, and Shadid is racing in 3rd. They're coming to the finish, and it's going to be Cozzene to win it, and a flawless ride by a jubilant one rider stalking the pace. He went up after the lead as the field turned for home. He ran down Al Mamoun and went on to victory. The final time, 1:35 flat, 2 ticks off the course record. Dick Enberg, back to you.
Cozzene, he's syndicated, and oh, the price has just gone up, or at least the value.
Cozzene ran a beautiful race, and as expected, Al Mamoun was sent to the lead because he was afraid of being caught wide at the first turn. And watch as Walter Guerra, with stick in the right hand and now moving to a hand ride, he's going to move past Al Mamoun in the final strides. It appeared that Shadid was really the horse to beat. Walter Swinburne looked like he had a tremendous amount of horse underneath him, but he didn't in the final strides. Here comes Cozzene, the big gray horse by Cairo on the outside. Roussillon was almost left at the gate, lost a lot of ground right at the start, rushed through between horses, had nothing left for the drive. But watch a champion here as Cozzene moves under the wire, and it's a real tight photo finish for the place spot. No question about the winner, though, Cozzene. Let's check our photo finish camera to see how they moved under the wire. There is Cozzene. And Jan Nehrude on his way to the winner's circle. Ooh, that's too tight to call. Al Mamoun on the $1 million victory of Cozzene this afternoon, bred by his dad.
On a gray day, the gray horse, the 5-year-old Cozzene, the winner, finished 3rd in this race last year, the Breeders' Cup, the Royal Heroine in the mile. The sire, Hero, 48 stakes winners, and Cozzene, a proud son this afternoon at Aqueduct. There's your winner, the Breeders' Cup Mile, Cozzene. He had to catch the front-running Al Mamoun, ridden by Angel Cordero. He's with Tom Hammond.
Angel did set the early pace on Al Mamoun and just lost.
And the 7 number blinking on the board, Palace Music. So Steward's Inquiry, we're going to look at the films.
What they have done is blink the 7 horse. That means that they're taking a look at the stretch drive to see if number 7, that's Palace Music, impeded or hindered anybody else through the stretch drive. We did not see anything from our angle. We're going to take a look at some videotape, but the stewards are watching in their booth up there. Now let's take a look at our head-on view of the 4th race stretch drive. Now, Al Mamoun's at the rail with the green and white cap. Cozzene, the gray horse, is easy to see. Here comes Palace Music on the outside, the horse with the big blaze face. Let's see what happens in the final strides of this mile event. I think if there was anything, it was probably back about the 8th pole, about an 1/8 of a mile from the finish line when he looks like he crosses over a little bit, but our angle is not definitive enough that we can tell if he impeded anybody, and that's what the...
Plus, they are part of the founders of the Breeders' Cup. Thanks, congratulations back to Dick and Dave.
And it's now official. They've taken down the number 7 horse, Palace Music, moving Al Mamoun to second. Shadid finishes third. Let's go to Dave Johnson. What happened?
Well, let me set it up for you. This is our head-on shot at the top of the stretch, and here is the horse right here that causes, or that gets the problem. The horse on the outside, on the complete left side of your screen, is the horse is Palace Music, who's going to cause the problem, and the horse right there with the quartered cap is Lafitte Pincay Jr., who rode Tsunami Slew. Tom Durkin, what happened through the stretch drive?
Well, when they were coming down the stretch, Roussillon was the horse that was actually interfered with more than anyone else, and that's why the horse was disqualified from second and placed 9th behind Roussillon. Roussillon is the one in the pink cap, ridden by Greville Starkey. If you move over to just a little bit to the right there, on your screen, it will be the horse with the pink cap, no, the other direction, pink cap with the white sleeves. As they came down the stretch, Palace Music came in over, interfered with Tsunami Slew. That horse in turn bumped badly with Roussillon, and the horse was disqualified, Palace Music, and placed behind Roussillon, who really got the worst of it. He had a bad start, he was rushed up during the race, and Roussillon was bumped hard in the stretch.
And it's now official. Cozzene pays $9.20 to win, $5.60 to place, and $4 to show. Al Mamoun, a big race for the outsider, $13.60 to place and $8.60 to show, and Shadid moved up to third, $5.60. Let's go to Bruff Scott.